is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Fleet and Footy, presented by Alive Credit Union. As you can see, I'm your host, Llerandi. I'm flying a little bit solo this week because my co-pilot, the voice of the Armada himself, Stuart Webber, is currently across the pond in London sporting a new hat there. I got that exclusive footage just a couple minutes before we hopped on air. But Stuart will be calling in live from London. There you go. When did you take that hat off, Stuart?
I don't know. It's because I couldn't get a haircut, so I needed something to cover up all this hair up here. You know, it gets a little voluminous at times, so I need the giant hat in order to cover that up. But yeah, man, glad to jump on here with you and chat a little bit, talk some soccer, Fleet and Footy. Once again, it's been a very it's funny, you know, we come over here to come cover the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'll turn on the TV and it's just all soccer. Like, I haven't seen a single mention about the NFL on there. I've seen lots of cricket because the Women's Cricket World Cup is going on. I've seen a little darts, which, you know, I love my darts.
It's good to say.
It's just a ton of Premier League, and the top women's league gets a lot of coverage as well. So there's plenty of soccer talk, plenty of footy over here on this side of the ocean.
I think the people are going to want to know, while you're over in England, are you going to take in any soccer?
That is in the works. It's funny, like the one time that you can really kind of get out for us is like that Friday night, Saturday night kind of time span. We do a lot of obviously Jaguars practices in the daytime here, and then we have to record everything for the newscasts back home. And simply because of our location, we are while we're in London, we're not in London. You know, it'd be like saying we're in London, but actually being in Brunswick, really. maybe Kingsland. I might be overdoing it a little bit, but we're up in like the outskirts of Watford, which is it's a good hour and a half if I wanted to take public transport to get to the city. And that's
Okay.
a doozy. That's a long way.
Watford, obviously home of the famous Troy Deeney goal. You know, that's what comes to mind when I think of Watford.
That's what comes to mind for me too, Lou.
Okay.
Clearly, that's what I was thinking about as well.
Well, speaking on that, going back into the history books on that goal, this week on Armada History, we actually had a really good game to look back on. This is 11 years ago now, I guess, right? 10, 11. October 17th, 2015. Oh, people in the chat. Hello, people in the chat. 3-2 win over FC Edmonton. I'm wearing the pink in studio. It's October. Got to represent for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We were doing the same on the field that night. It's the second appearance of those pink jerseys.
I didn't realize we wore them twice.
Yeah. So you got two appearances out of your pink jersey, Stuart.
I was gonna say, did Trejo play in this one?
I didn't look at the
Probably.
bench.
I feel like he played most of those matches back
Yeah,
then.
decent
Sean
player.
Nicolau with a pass in.
Yeah, that's Alisson Keita with the first goal. He'll eventually get a red card here in the second half to make this game a little bit rocky. But
the second half graphic in there, that's good.
Yeah, sorry about that one. I think I
I'm
about to edit that one out.
On to the second half we go.
There we go. There you go. But man, I really do love those jerseys. Once again on the baseball field, here's the second yellow for the red, which I thought was pretty egregious. We end up scoring not too long after this. Pascal Million scores from the spot on a PK.
There's that number 3 jersey I now possess.
Okay, there you go. It's on the field.
Could have been defending a little better on that play.
And that one.
Hey, don't worry about it. It's okay.
So at this point, Edmonton are up 2-1. There you go. There's Pascal, Haitian sensation, putting that ball in the back of the net. Then you got Akil Barrett here with a nice little turn and finish to put it away in the back of the net in the 70th minute. Armada would get the job done at, what was it called at the time? Stuart, Community First?
I believe it was Community First. Was this in the Eric Dade days? Was he the interim head coach?
As head coach, you know what? I think so, maybe because of that celebration.
I saw the celebration there.
Yep.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think you might be right. So it's definitely an interesting period in Armada history for sure.
There's a lot of interesting periods in our Armada history, Lewis. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Ian, the agent, where's home? What up to Chandler? Yeah, man, we're looking back at some good times from the Armada, and I've had a chance to see many a Premier League match over here. So we'll see if we get out to the cottage here on Saturday with Fulham taking on Arsenal, which might be the biggest name opponent if I am able to attend that game on Saturday from all the different matches I've seen them play. Because half the time they were in the Championship, so one level down. This year they're in the Prem. They had a good season in the Prem last year, so we'll see. We'll see if we go on out there and check out some footy.
And actually, I'm pretty sure it's Fulham America Day, which is like I guess for like the supporters groups over here in America to get together and have.
You
a
have
big
to pronounce
party.
it as one though. Is it Full America?
Fulham America. Fulham America.
Full America.
I saw some of the advertising for it. It looks fun. I know we have a big Fulham contingency in Jacksonville of fans due to that Shad Khan link, and I loved when they had the Visit Florida on the front. That was one of my favorite eras. Used to love seeing Mitrovic score in a kit that said Florida on the front. I thought that was always.
Do you have a Visit Florida Fulham kit at home?
I don't, but that's definitely one for the closet. That's definitely one I need for the closet.
I have a couple of the practice kits for Fulham. I don't always love a sponsor on my jersey, quite honestly. So sometimes if I see a practice kit I like, I'll get that one instead.
When I was at AEW the other night, there was a Will Ospreay soccer wrestling crossover jersey, and it took everything in me not to buy it, Stuart, and I held off.
Maybe if it was in like UNF colors, then it'd be a Will UNF Ospreay jersey.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
Well, this weekend, the Academy is back live. Last weekend, they got the weekend off, long weekend, which I don't say often for these boys because it seems like they are playing games every single weekend. This weekend, the boys end up going to Boca Raton to play.
Mouth of the Rat. What up?
Yes, the Mouth of the Rat to play South Florida Football Academy at Loggers Run Park, which I thought was an interesting. Do you know? I forget.
I'm trying to think if I know it. That was like
South Floridian.
40 minutes south of where I grew up is Boca Raton.
Okay.
I don't think I recall a Loggers Run Park because a lot of these parks I did like cross country meets at, so I don't recall that one.
Well, the boys will hope to get some results as they've had a really tough start to the season with some of their opponents.
Look at the schedule. I mean, IMG, Inter Miami, Orlando City. Like these are the creme de la creme when it comes to that MLS Next schedule. So now you got to go and show yourself against South Florida FA, Tampa Bay United. We know Weston's good as well. So good chance here these next couple weekends and go get some results. Go get some highlights for Lou. Lou, you going down to this one or no?
I'm pretty sure I will be attending this matchup. I love a trip to South Florida, get to see the sights, taste the foods. It's.
Are you gonna go see some sights in Boca Raton?
No, but South Florida in general. It's always fun to make a little trip. I sometimes will make a trip down to Classic Football Shirts. They have a store down in Miami now, which I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter or anything on social media. It's like one of the biggest, like Classic Football shirt where you can buy it, and so sometimes I make the pilgrimage down there. Get my.
You don't have enough of those right now.
I don't. It's impossible to have too many. But this all culminates, as you notice, I put the whole schedule up here because it ends in November. But really, these teams won't stop playing because in December, they'll be going out to Mesa, Arizona for MLS Next Fest. So everything leads up to December, and that's the big tournament at the end of this fall portion of the season. And we've got plenty more tournaments coming up within the spring, and we'll have that schedule out to you next year.
When you do that schedule, make sure to go in columns here. Columns.
Every time I look at this graphic, I think of
you mentioned the
shout.
Boca game, and I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, I don't see the date that I'm looking for because I'm looking down the left column.
I'm sure you were looking
like a normal person.
For Mouth of the Rat FC, though. You weren't looking for South Florida FA.
That's right. It'd be a better name if you're asking me.
Well, that kind of wraps up like our little segment for the Armada. I know that we have a really exciting guest coming after the break. We've had Coach Ali Simmons on a couple weeks ago to talk JU men's soccer in the River City Rumble when they hosted. Now this weekend, the JU women's team will get their chance to host the Ospreys. They won their first game of this matchup earlier in the season, 2-1 on two really late goals. But
by the way, as you get ready for this interview with Coach Moon from the JU women's soccer team, we talk soccer on the show, not basketball. Go check out my Twitter account from October 12th, so a couple days ago. Go check it out. I retweeted, this was on Sunday, the goal that they scored, and it was an absolute
I have it.
beauty.
I have it for the show.
You have it?
Yeah,
that's even better.
Yes.
Don't go to my Twitter. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. We'll show media on this show. That's a media show. What a concept. Anyhow, thanks, Lou. I should have looked at the rundown.
It's a fantastic goal. It really is a fantastic goal.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been firing on all cylinders. We'll get into some of that with Coach Moon in just a minute.
Hold on, let me pull this up right quick for y'all. When was this shot? Was this shot at?
When was what shot?
When was this shot? Like, when was this game?
Sunday.
Oh, yeah, Sunday. Oh my gosh.
Whoa. I think it was during the Jaguars game.
Yeah, this is against Florida Gulf Coast, who's been absolutely running rampant on the A-Sun. Wow. I mean,
That's pretty.
off the volley, just a perfect finish.
I think she's even amazed by her own goal.
Yeah, you could tell. JU ends up getting the draw in a really crucial 1 point in the A-Sun standings.
Andy, you able to do that? You got that in your arsenal?
Zero shot, man.
I definitely don't. I think Ryan Moon may.
We'll do like a penalty kick competition at some point. I want to see what Hamby can do and what Big Lou can do out there.
That'd be a good segment, Stu. That'd be a good segment.
Great segment.
Stuart will be joining us after our interview with head coach Ryan Moon, but stick around because we've got plenty more soccer to talk about here on Fleet and Footy.
Ancla Dorada. The official bear of your Jacksonville Armada.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jacks, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jacks is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jacks 24/7. People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by a live credit union.
All right, it's time to talk about one of the most exciting programs in Jacksonville right now. The Jacksonville University Women's soccer team. The Dolphins are absolutely flying this season. One of the top scoring offenses in the entire country, stacked with new talent and playing some seriously entertaining football. Joining us today is the man leading that charge, Coach Ryan Moon. Coach, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. You and I have known each other for a few years now that I come and I call some of the ESPN games. So I've been really excited to see what you've been doing with this JU women's soccer program. And I want to touch specifically on all these new names I'm seeing on this roster. What was that like to rebuild the squad essentially from scratch this season?
Yeah, it was good. It was nice to, it's nice to bring in new, fresh faces and people too. Get good people into the program, and we had a really good base of returners that were coming back from last season, and the ones that were here before I arrived, and so we felt really good with a core group going into this year that. The people we were going to bring in were going to enhance it and join similar good people and good players. And it's kind of it's been a really enjoyable season so far to coach and be around those people.
You've had quite, like I mentioned, new faces this year, including a few from Spain, a Spanish contingency. As a Spaniard myself, I think that's really interesting. How has that international mix shaped up, the way you guys play?
Yeah, I think it's been really good to have them connect with each other. They seem to have a similar mindset, and without saying anything on the field, they connect really well. But we've got a lot of players from all over the world. We span quite a few countries, which just gives a different flavor to how they play, and they all bring something different. But also just for the experience for all of them, going from off the field, even just meeting new people from new cultures, and and then tying it in with the Americans we have. It's been a really dynamic group that have enjoyed getting to know each other. And then, on the field, they've connected really well, and some exciting football this year with especially going forward, as you mentioned before. So that's always a nice thing to score some goals.
I mean, you've been one of the top scoring offenses in the entire country right now. Is there anything that you've got secretive behind that attacking flow?
No, not really. It's just things have just come together. Last year we felt really good last year with the way we were playing and creating chances, and we felt like we maybe deserved to score a few more than we actually did. And this year it just seems like we're getting a little bit more of the rub of the green, and taking those chances and being clinical. And I think, when you start doing that, you gain a bit of confidence, right? It's like, if you're not scoring or not taking chances, you maybe keep going down that road. And we're kind of the opposite this year. We took a few early on and scored some goals, which creates a bit of confidence. And then, it just seems like things are working and clicking, and players are confident right now, which is what you want at this stage in the season too.
You're talking about how the players are working and clicking together. I feel like this is just what you've been building with this program for the last couple of years. Is this finally a reflection of the system that you've been wanting to implement for a long time now?
I think so, yeah. We've got a fantastic staff here, and they do a great job of kind of with the details of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve, and they've bought in massively to it, which helps when we're trying to teach it to the team as well. And I think last year I think we felt good, but this year we've made another jump and tweaked some things that we feel like we're finally seeing what we wanted to do and how we wanted to play. And then, you're obviously judged by results on that too, and the wins and losses in the conference. And I think, we've got to that point now where the performances are there, and then the results are coming as part of that too.
Well, I feel like we have to get to the elephant in the room. It's River City Rumble Week. It's one of the biggest fixtures, obviously, on the calendar. What does this rivalry mean to the team? You guys obviously had a fantastic 2-1 win away at Hodges. This Sunday, you guys are hosting UNF. And just does this fire up the girls that much more?
I think for us, we try and just say, go enter every game consistent and be the same, but there's always that emotion that comes in with a rivalry game. This year's a little different too, because we get it twice, and last year it was just the one game and it's one and done. This year it's almost first leg, second leg. So we did the hard leg away. Now we get to welcome them to our home this weekend. So I think the girls are just excited. Like I said, they're confident in what we're doing, and they'll definitely be excited for the game. Hopefully, a good crowd, which is what everyone wants to play in front of. Whether it's a home or away crowd, just people in the stands that are making some noise and making some atmosphere is an enjoyable environment. So we'll all be excited. The girls will be excited, and they'll be ready to approach it with some good energy.
You guys do want to go catch that game. It'll be at Southern Oak Stadium this Sunday at 1 o'clock. Just want to make sure we got that one right. Coach Moon, we played just before you got on air with us a fantastic goal from your 1-1 draw with a really tough opponent in Florida Gulf Coast. Can you kind of just take me through this? Is just what happens sometimes when you put together a season like this? You get these moments of magic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's usually a time where we would be as coaches saying like, no, don't do it. And then it just, but she's a player that's capable of doing that kind of moment. She does it in training. So for it to come off in the game, it's very similar to Zidane's goal in the Champions League final, where it came from high. I think Roberto Carlos looped one up high and he hit it left-footed, caught it well, and she catches it so well, and you can tell by the technique in it that it's a high quality goal, and she deserves it. She worked really hard in that game, on and off the ball, and it's really nice when someone who works so hard and cares so much gets to enjoy a good moment like that. It's enjoyable to see.
A massive point within the ASUN standings. We're coming up on the playoffs really shortly. A little bit of a different shakeup in the way that they're doing it this year. Is that affecting how you guys prepare for these games at all?
I think only a little bit, because we're playing the teams twice. So it's obviously a little different, and I think you can pull positives and negatives from any way they would do the shakeout of the conference. So we're taking it as it comes, and it's a good thing that you get to play home and away. Maybe it evens it out. And then it's kind of easier when you're trying to scout the opposition because you've played them already. So you kind of have an idea about individuals, and then it's, guessing a little bit on if they're going to shape up the same, if they're going to change what they're going to do, which makes it, entertaining in itself. And I think it allows for teams to have rematches if they didn't do so well the first one, and then it gives you a little bit of a second chance sometimes. But it's been good. It's nice to play a lot of the games more regionalized to help with travel. But yeah, it's definitely a little different, especially with the shakeup of the order, and we're playing the teams. We played Stetson back to back with a few days in between, so that was almost like two halves of a game rather than two legs of a game when it got that close. But yeah, it's different, but it's there's definitely some positives to it as well.
If the people out there want to go see your girls play this Sunday at 1 o'clock at Southern Oaks Stadium, what's the one thing you want them knowing going into watching your team?
I think that they're going to hopefully see some good soccer, some players out there that are trying to play and trying to enjoy having the ball and do some creative moments similar to the goal. You know, we've seen some good goals we've scored this season, and it's definitely exciting for people to watch. And you know, I think outside of that, there should be a good crowd. It's Greek game for us, so a lot of the fraternities and sororities will be out of the game, which will hopefully, you know, help with a nice atmosphere. So yeah, I think it will be good. There'll be a lot of community people out there. There'll be two very good teams that we're lucky enough to have in Jacksonville here competing, which is always a good thing when it's even and you can see some good soccer and good competitive, a good competitive game within our own community. So yeah, there's lots of good things that you can see, and then hopefully some sunshine and while you're sitting and watching.
Well, thank you so much for joining the show, Coach Moon. I will be hopefully at that matchup. I'll be wearing my green, of course, cheering for the Dolphins. But thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it, and I'll see you on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When we come back, we'll talk about all the different international tournaments that are going on around the world. We'll have your weird soccer story of the week at the end of it all. But stick around. We'll be right back here in the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 studio.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Imagine a brokerage platform that gives agents the flexibility to move between comp plans so that they can spend their entire career in one place while earning stock and recruiting other agents. And imagine the entire enterprise is created and backed by a proven industry innovator. Now imagine this platform already exists. Imagine you own this platform. Imagine how large you can grow, how much revenue share you could earn. Just imagine.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home. Headed on, here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net. After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Campion Law will fight for you till the bitter end. We suffered several injuries, along with the car being totaled. They checked on us literally almost every day for the next 2 weeks, just making sure, are you okay? Do you need anything? Even Chris was texting us, like, what can we get you? Campione cares.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, sponsored by a live credit union.
Where is this shot from?
Lou?
Oh boy.
I'm going to sabotage the show for just a minute.
Of course you are.
Lou, where is this? Lou's context clues.
I'm assuming we're in Jacksonville, so the...
Nope.
We're in Stuart's Hotel?
Which is where?
Watford, England.
Okay. What do we have here?
Technically Hertfordshire, by the way.
Seeing a giraffe.
Okay. So on the Britton Austin Show, also on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network earlier today from 10 to 1, about an hour at least, give or take, over a couple of different periods of time, was committed to trying to figure out if this, Lou, was one bush or multiple bushes put together. So now that we are here, Stuart can finally answer for this. Before he does, you have to give your own take.
Okay.
Is this one bush that was masterfully crafted? Is this multiple bushes put together, or is it something else? I'll show you one more time.
I'm going with the one bush.
Okay, I said the same. 4 out of 5 people have said the same. Stuart, you crushed all of our dreams.
Yeah, you got to go with the context clues here. There is a whole nother piece of shrubbery to the left of that fine giraffe. And in that shrubbery, you could see it's brown. There's brown and green. There's no way you're getting a perfectly sculpted topiary giraffe at this time of the year. That thing is immaculate. It's clearly fake. It's not a real plant. So I mean, the idea of it being one plant or two plants molded together, just I don't know how we even got to that in the first place when it's clearly a fake plant. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I can't even believe that it's a fake plant, though. Like, I thought you were going to tell me maybe there was, like, some kind of structure that they grew vines around. Oh, giraffe structure or something, But no.
No, it's just a fake giraffe. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, that would be nearly impossible to maintain, first of all. You look at some of the fine details of it. I do enjoy it because every time that we come to the practice area here at the Grove, there's a big wall outside that whole area, and with his little head peeking over the wall is our little giraffe buddy.
That's so sad. Except for the fact that he's not real.
Not real. Well, he wasn't real anyways. He would have been a plant.
Living thing.
Okay. But yes, it is a nice piece of fake plant. It's good work. Anyhow, thank you for taking us along that journey. For more musings of that sort, be sure to tune into the Brenton Austin Show
for an hour. For an hour.
From 10 to 1, where they have 3 hours to fill time and thus end up on topics like that. Not that we don't get off topic every single week, multiple times a show.
We never get off topic, Stuart. We never get off topic.
What do you mean?
We do have a couple topics to talk about today, although, speaking of that.
Yeah, how about the winning streak? It continues. I think that's now 9 wins in a row for the UNF Ospreys. They take down the Hats with the 3-0 victory. Another win for UNF, and that's impressive stuff. I mean, you get to double digits wins in a row, would just be amazing if they can get to 10. And look, you got to keep that momentum going, certainly, and then who knows? You go win your conference tournament again and maybe make some noise. That's the hope.
It's a continuation of the success they had last season, making that run into the tournament. And this Sunday, they play another tough opponent, Florida Gulf Coast. I feel like we've been saying the same 3 teams for the women and men, constantly switching back and forth. But like Coach Moon mentioned, it does cut down on that travel, and it does make things a little bit more interesting if you do lose that first matchup or you think you could have gained an edge against that team. You can do it in a second matchup.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we mentioned it before. The men's side, it's a much shorter schedule when it comes to conference play. They're only playing 6 conference games, round robin against the other 3 Florida teams. I believe the women's schedule's 10. If I'm not correct,
I think you're correct.
I think it's 10. Yeah. So a little more robust schedule that allows the true champion to kind of float to the top. With 6, I mean, you have a couple bad games in there and you're in trouble.
Yep.
You're hurting real quick.
Well, just north on 295, the JU men have put together a couple wins of their own, and I was lucky enough to call this one on ESPN Plus. Got to call 2 goals, 2 fantastic goals. Matias Tobon with the first one, and another late goal from Juan Pablo Gonzalez to tie the game up. But as you can see there, they played Georgia State, home of. Can you name the Armada player?
We had an Armada player at Georgia State?
Yes. Brazil?
I can't off the top of my head.
Brazilian?
We had multiple Brazilians. Just give it to me.
Gustavo Marquez.
Marquez. Yeah, well, clearly Gustavo Marquez.
Yes.
I thought you were I don't know. I don't have any excuses. I'm in football mode now.
Well, we've had so many players come through the Armada that it definitely is hard sometimes to rack your brain for some of the guys.
I did see on my feed, Thiago Barahina had an assist for Rhode Island the other day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dolphins get it done at home at Southern Oaks Stadium. They go on to play Stetson this Saturday, 7 at Southern Oaks Stadium. So
you will not be on the call on that one because you'll be in Boca.
Yes, most likely we'll be in Boca Raton.
You don't have like the video of your goal call here?
Does ESPN Plus let me rip it like that? I've never even tried to do that, actually.
They probably shot video of it, right, JU?
Yeah.
Like they have the team social video. Take that, dub your voice underneath it, and use that.
Oh, that's kind of all right. Well, I was pretty fired up for that first goal call because I hadn't called one all year. It was good. I had a couple good goal calls. Called the game with Mike Jenkins.
All right, go retweet it for me. If it's out there somewhere, go find a retweet, and that way people can go and check it out at Lewis_Llerandi.
I don't know if they posted it though. Like I know that the raw footage is posted.
Then you need to get on them and tell them they need to post your.
I agree.
Your goal calls.
I agree. It's a fantastic goal call.
How about the UNF women? They get another win.
Another win. They've been pretty successful recently. Coming off of an unfortunate loss to Florida Gulf Coast at home, they follow it up with a win versus Stetson. Florida Gulf Coast that women's team has just had a fantastic season this year. Absolutely dominating.
Which makes that JU result that much more impressive, by the way. The fact that they were able to earn a draw against a team that beat them 5-0 earlier in the schedule, huge.
Yep. The Ospreys get it done over the Hatters, and like we mentioned, they'll travel just north to Southern Oaks Stadium to play the Lady Fins.
River City Rumble.
Yeah, the River City Rumble. The JU women got that 1-1 draw at Florida Gulf Coast, like we mentioned, and just before that got a 2-0 victory over Stetson at home. So really, they have the win under their wings, and I think they will hopefully put together a few good performances here.
Yep, that'd be great to see. We would love that. I mean, we're getting into the nitty gritty here. Just a few matches remaining for the men's side. Women's side getting closer to the finish of that regular season as well. So good time to be playing well, good time to be going out there and getting some wins for these local college teams.
Speaking of wins, the U.S. men's national team finally gets a win. Feels like it's been a while since we got a win against a decent opponent. We go and play that.
I think I saw it was the first time they won under Pochettino after trailing in a match.
That's a great stat.
They were down 1-0.
Yep.
They were down 1-0, and all those other games that they'd fallen behind, they never came back and won. So I mean, hey, a little moxie, a little resilience. Although you do have the one downside to this game.
Yes. So the U.S. men's national team played that first game in Austin, get a 1-1 draw versus Ecuador. I believe Haji Wright scores that goal really late to draw it all up. And yeah, in that second game versus Australia, Christian Pulisic goes down, I believe, within the first 30 minutes of that matchup. And a really unfortunate thing to see because he's been flying for AC Milan as well as the U.S. men's national team. But Stuart, I wanted to bring this up. Actually, Coach Ryan Moon, I wanted to bring this up because
I'm being discreet. I'm trying to look. He was on it.
That was good.
I was trying to
Sorry.
text him, be nice about it.
I would have looked right away.
You pull a Stuart and call him out on the air. Unbelievable.
I've learned from the best.
You really have learned from the best. I thought about doing it, but I was like, no, he's had a long day. He's had to do a lot of shows. He talked about giraffes for at least an hour today. I need to.
No, I deserved it.
Give him a break.
I wanted to bring this up too because we had this conversation maybe a few months ago about how Christian Pulisic didn't want to play in some of these friendly or the Gold Cup. And now, now he's got some ammo behind some of his, what he said a couple months earlier about, not wanting to be injured and wanting to be back to his fittest, fullest self.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But I'm sure he also benefited from, working some camaraderie with those teammates and being able to do some camp under coach, which is so different, than what you're used to. I know he's the best player on the team and he needs to be 1,000% healthy by the time we reach next summer. But I guarantee you that his team over there in Italy is probably saying he needs to be 100% healthy right now too, because we're paying him a significant amount of money, and we need him to go out there and continue to produce the way he has. So it is such a weird balance in this sport, right? Where you have club teams and international teams all kind of fighting for playing time, so to speak, and attention of these top superstars, where, it really becomes an issue because there's too many matches. Too many tournaments. The season's too long. There is no off season for these guys anymore. Like your body needs time to recover and be able to get back to full strength. I mean, really, you look at the way this past summer went with that Club World Cup and different tournaments that guys are having to participate in. I get them wanting to say, hey, you know what? Don't pay me this month. It's fine. I'm taking the month off. Like, give me a break here for Pete's sake, because we're playing way too many matches. So I get that. It's just the challenge, right? That there's so many things on the calendar as you're about to jump into more things that are on the calendar when it comes to this world of soccer. But you do have to balance that. If the really good managers find a way to do it, right? They find a way to utilize their best players and send them back to their club teams fully intact and healthy and ready to go for their next match.
And we've also talked about this before. This is Pochettino's first national team job. And I don't know if that affects, the reason why we're seeing all these different roster variations. And I understand he's got a short period of time to hopefully turn around this U.S. men's national team program before the ultimate 26 World Cup. But it's, it's getting interesting. And I think this just throws another wrinkle into everything. And so I'm hoping this doesn't affect how Christian Pulisic sees the U.S. men's national team once he's back healthy.
Let me ask you this, Lou. What is a successful World Cup for Team USA in 2026?
You know what? Since it's the expanded version, I guess you would have to say final 8.
How many teams make it the knockout rounds?
It's a 48-team tournament this year. It used to be 32. So I believe you would go from there and then go from there's a round of 32, then it goes to 16. Yeah, so it's pretty brutal.
So basically you automatically start with you absolutely have to make it out of group play.
Yes, there's 3 teams in every group. And if you're a second place team, I think there's a theoretical chance that you can go through, like off of,
like a third place team, you mean?
Yeah. Yes, excuse
me. Oh wait,
me.
there's 3. So there's
I think there's 3. I think there's 3, yeah. No?
I mean, that's like some of these playoffs where more than half the teams make it into the playoffs.
That's why I'm saying I think the barometer still needs to be, you got to be in that final 8, you know what I mean, that elite 8.
Okay, so you're thinking final 8. Okay, so here's the teams that are already qualified.
And those little black dots are the spaces that are still yet to be filled by countries in their respective.
I figured there weren't that many teams with the same country flag.
I'm just for the masses, explaining to people. I
watched, by the way, that most recent clinch down there in the UEFA category is England beat up on Latvia. I think it was 5-0. They beat Latvia to secure their spot.
Harry Kane now is averaging a goal every 70 minutes. Is that what
he
it
had
is?
2 in that one.
Yes, yeah, but on average, he's averaging a goal every 70 minutes.
Every 70 minutes.
With his stats, club and country, which is absolutely just ridiculous.
It's wild. I think I saw that he became like the fastest goal scorer, like in top European leagues, fastest to 100
Sure.
with the team, beating some pretty big names to get to that point, just with how much he has scored in the Bundesliga, which is pretty exciting stuff. But yeah, there's still obviously a ton of spots to be decided here in Europe. I say here in Europe because I'm in Europe. How about that? And look at how many spots they get. They get a ton of spots, man. Look at that.
Yeah, we've got
16 spots, and they can also get them in the playoffs too, right?
Yep. That New Caledonia and Bolivia right now are in the playoffs to hopefully try to secure those 2 final spots right there. A couple of the teams that just punched their ticket this international break, I think the big one is Cape Verde. Now becomes the second smallest country ever,
yeah, there they are.
to
CPV.
qualify for the World Cup. A couple of the African nations qualified as well. You had Saudi Arabia and Jordan do it. So we're finally, getting to where the pots are gonna go for the World Cup.
It's filling up a little bit. When's Faroe Islands gonna make it in here, Lou?
Faroe Islands have had a very, very good little
still
run now.
alive.
Yes, they are.
They're
They
still
are.
alive, which is awesome. I'm obviously rooting for them as an underdog. I love that story. And of course, the Dutch will take care of business and pop our little spot in there as well.
I'll
Get
have
all
to
my,
send it to you. But San Marino, there's a way that San Marino qualifies still in some weird back way.
You know what this all says, Lewis?
What? Sorry.
Too many teams are making the World Cup.
I would agree with
That's
you.
what this says.
I would agree with you. Like I think
We're gonna
maybe
see more blowouts than ever.
I don't know if this expanded tournament works beyond like a US market, because do you have the capacity for a 48 team tournament? And I guess you have the stadiums, but do you have the excitement? Like, I don't know. It's a little bit, it's a little bit different when you're over in the United States. You're able to make that much more money, even if, not many people are showing up to certain events or games or.
Yeah, they just got to realize their golden goose isn't going to lay quite as many eggs the next time it comes up 4 years from now. I think that's certainly part of it. There you go, Ian. Clinched into a playoff. That's halfway there. You're like in the NCAA tournament play-in game. So that's something.
Exactly.
You're this, 68th team to make it in the tournament.
The first four.
The first four, which I think they're going to expand that too, by the way.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they want to expand everything, man. They want to get it more. Everybody needs a trophy. Everybody needs a cut of the payday. That's really what it is. It's wild out here, man. It's wild, Lou.
Well, we're talking about the 2026 World Cup that's going to go on next year. FIFA only sanctions 3 men's tournaments and 3 women's tournaments. The U17, U20, and the normal World Cup. We got the U20 World Cup going on right now in Chile. The United States actually had a really good group stage of games.
I thought they beat France, right?
We beat France, get out of the group, end up winning one of our knockout stage games, or I think we might lose that first knockout stage game to Morocco. And now we've got the final coming up this Sunday at 7 p.m. Argentina versus Morocco. But the United States really crashed out in an unfortunate way. The matchup that they had versus Morocco, they were the better side. You had
I hope so.
I would say 2.5 of those goals from the 3-1 scoreline came from goalkeeping errors from the United States. Now, the interesting story behind that is that Barcelona recalled the U20's top keeper back to Barcelona because one of their goalkeepers were injured. This goalkeeper goes on and makes a couple mistakes in this tournament. A couple of the keepers that they end up calling up to try to replace the number 1 guy aren't getting released by the clubs because their MLS clubs or their European clubs expected them to be with their respective club teams. So
our
bit of
team,
drama.
you're saying our Team USA top keeper plays for Barcelona?
Yes.
I was thinking maybe Spain because I see they crashed out in the quarters as well.
Yes, Spain lost to Colombia, and then you had a all South America matchup between Argentina and Colombia, a really gritty matchup. Actually, an MLS player from Inter Miami, Matteo Silvetti, scores the winner in that one to put Argentina through. But Morocco's been a very resilient team, not only throughout the group stages, but especially in the knockouts. They get a PK shootout victory over France to send them into the final. But I know you and I talk about, there's so many games, but I've really enjoyed watching this tournament.
Well, you're a sicko, so of course you did. You'll watch absolutely anything. By the way, I did almost come up with a sicko plan for a game to go watch tomorrow. The Watford U21s are home tomorrow. And had they played at like the Watford main stadium, I might have thought about it. But like I looked online, like tickets aren't even online. Like I feel like I could just show up at this thing and be able to go watch it.
What's Watford Stadium? Vicarage Park? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Vicarage Road, maybe.
Vicarage Road. That sounds a little bit more right, if we're being honest.
But like the U21s play at some other park in like the suburb, 10 minutes north of here.
You got to do it, Stuart. You got to see some kind
of
I'm
not doing that. I'm not going to that. I am keeping an eye out for some last minute Harry Potter tickets. Those things book out months in advance. But if I can get one of those, I'll go do that tomorrow night. We'll see.
There's a lot of good musicals in London. There's a fantastic theater scene.
No, not the Harry Potter musical. And I'm not going to a musical. The Harry Potter Warner Brothers like tour, the studio tour.
You know what I always tell
Amby,
people?
you want to weigh in on this at all? I know you're a Harry Potter expert now.
No comment. Just stay in your hotel, man.
Well, I actually love Harry Potter, so I would love to go do that if I could at some point.
The thing that I tell people to do in London after I did it was ABBA has like a hologram show where like they re-hologram themselves and they have they do a whole concert and they sell out every night. I'm like not even lying to you. You can look this up. It's the craziest thing.
For holograms. They don't even have to perform.
It's holograms. Well, there's a live band, there's a live band and stuff, but like it is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Look it up, people. Look it up.
They need a hologram of me.
They don't let you film in there.
Get too pixelated here. Get a hologram.
We'll get an AI Stuart. AI Stuart.
Do that.
Okay.
That'd be good.
That's scary. It's a scary thought.
Yeah, goodness. So I looked into that. It's funny. I try to, whenever I go traveling to places, I always try to find, different sporting events I can go to or different things I can do. I know they talked about this when they got off topic on Brett and Austin earlier today as well. A couple of years ago, I went to see darts in Leicester, which was an absolute blast. And then they have sumo wrestling. Like one of the biggest sumo tournaments in the world is taking place here this week.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I found some, I think it was tomorrow night. I found some standing room only tickets that were 600 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
600 pounds for standing room only.
Oh my gosh.
Insane.
The men 600 pounds. That's the reason I wanted this ticket. 600 pounds, I think.
Ironically, the only thing with the higher pound total than the competitors were the tickets. Crazy.
Well, before we get into our weird soccer story of the week, I do want to shout out a little bit of MLS Next Pro.
Yeah, let's do it.
We had a couple new teams announced. Well, a new badge announced for one of the teams. This is AC Grand Rapids out of Michigan.
Shout out to Air Conditioning Grand Rapids. Like it.
What's the call, Stuart? Do you like? Do we not like? What's the verdict?
I don't know. I when it comes to naming, I always like city mascot. I mean, that's my preference personally. But I guess that they get to come up with their own because they don't have one built in, right?
Yep.
Or are they going to be like the paddles for when they're on the rapids? I don't know. AC Grand Rapids. I like the color combo. I like the black and the gold and the dark blue.
Yeah, the color combo is reminding me of Philly Union. Is kind of what I'm getting. I love an interlocking letter logo in general.
Sure.
AC, I think, is an interesting choice because, I think I'd rather go to Milan than Grand Rapids. We're thinking about some ACs. Like, that's the only thing that I think of.
So many of them, you're just like, you're trying to copy off of the famous ones in Europe. Like, we're in America, so do it the American way. Like, we don't have to try to be like these other teams. My personal opinion when it comes to that. But shout out to AC Grand Rapids on their new badge. And, scarf, whatever they got going on there.
If you really want to see the American way of naming things, this team, brand new team, just announced, we had no clue until the other day, that this team existed. Yep. The Island FC, Stuart. No logo yet. We got like a typeface, which is pretty cool. Okay. But the Island.
I already
FC,
know the answer to this, but Hamby, can you guess which island they're referencing?
The same place as the Gators' only convincing win all season. I'm going to go with the Sharks of Long Island.
That was a great shout, Hambone.
Gators had a convincing win over Texas. I don't know why you have to act like this. Act like that's a thing.
You threw it, Jimmy.
That was an unnecessary. You know, you pander to your co-hosts on Brett and Austin and have them be nice to Georgia in your last segment, and now you're on my show, coming here and ripping the Gators. That is unbelievable. Just want to throw that out there.
You rip them too. Don't worry.
Stuart, next week on the show.
Ripping sometimes, but they did beat Texas, and they beat them convincingly. Even if you don't worry about the last 3 minutes of the game when Billy got a Billy. Anyhow, Long Island is correct. Yes.
Well, I just want you to know, while we're on the UGA Florida topic, next week I'd like to wear a Georgia polo, and you could wear your alma mater's polo, I guess. You know.
Well, next week is a bye, so we got 2 weeks.
What's happening?
2 weeks, Lou.
Is that when it is?
Halloween weekend.
Yeah, but what's next show? Oh, I guess I do have it anyway. Yeah, exactly. That'll be our Florida Georgia to talk about.
I'm not letting you in the building if that's the case. Someone else is going to have to let you in.
I'll change. Right before the show.
I'm not accepting that on this program.
All right, no Florida Georgia then. But the Island FC.
Shout out to the Island FC.
What do you think about the name?
Newest member, and I believe in the center there is the upcoming new president, right, for MLS
Next Pro? That's Ali Curtis, new MLS Next Pro president.
Charles Altchek got bumped up. He's kind of seen as the eventual successor to Garber, right?
Yeah. I've talked to him a few times when he was down here when we did our announcement. Yes, he is seen as that, and Ali Curtis now taking the role from Charles. But it's exciting. Yeah. We've got so many new teams, and the independent teams I think is the best part of this is that these are independent teams getting announced, and once the Armada join MLS Next Pro, that there'll be a nice contingent of them.
Yeah, that number of prospective teams continues to grow, and in a healthy way. I feel like so often in American professional sports, especially the non-Division I, so to speak, sports, you can have an unhealthy level of growth where you're adding too many teams too quickly, and then they fail, right? They don't have the infrastructure in place. They don't have the plan in place. And what it results in is too many teams too quickly. And you see it in like arena football all the time. Those leagues are constantly shifting because they're adding 4, 5, 8 teams a year. And well, guess what? All 8 of those aren't going to survive, type of deal. So it is exciting to see this slow growth and really these high standards being put up for the teams that do join into the league. I think that's a key part of it.
Well, Stuart, towards the end of the show, so you know what time it is. It's time for the weird soccer story of the week. This one
very excited.
Comes out of actually Japan, but you're looking at a bunch of
Welsh U21 team. What do we got
lads. Here? This is the Wales over 70 veterans team who won their World Cup title in Komozawa Olympic Park in Japan with a 2-0 win over the United States of America. The team went unbeaten.
Made it to the finals. Interesting.
Yep. The team went unbeaten in 6 games. They actually played 6 games in 3 days. And these are 70-year-old men. There's also a division.
They play like half games?
I don't know, but there's also a division for over 75 and over 80. There's an over 80 division. Now, this is the only footage I could find. This is not of the Welsh team. This is one of the Japanese teams and the German team. But, a lot of some physicality, some old guy physicality here.
Was that England? I think that was England.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Boom.
They don't look Japanese.
I got this from a Japanese media outlet.
Well, yeah, because it was. What
whoa.
Is he okay?
Was that a heart condition, or was that we just pissed at ourselves?
There's the passion is here.
Hold on.
Right?
No. Let's see. He gets the pass off. Ooh,
That's
no.
Awesome. Hold on a minute.
What did we have more of?
All right.
What did we have more of at this game? fans or defibrillators?
I'm going with defibrillators, Stuart. I'm going with defibrillators. Well,
I mean, I love the passion. We got to get our guy from Italy. Where was
Italy?
he?
Italy.
He needs to go get involved in his national team for this.
I agree.
Did that guy just score?
Yep, he did.
He must have. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for finding that video, and thank you for everyone joining us here on Fleet and Footy. My goodness, good show, Lou.
Thank you, sir.
I think that's it.